Good afternoon, everyone. This is RAND. Welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Thursday, June 5, 2025, after 3:15 p.m. Eastern. We're having a reverse aging health call and all the rest tomorrow night, Friday, June 6, after 9:15 p.m. Eastern. You want to make sure that you are in a comfortable position with no outside distractions, relaxed into your body, focused on your breath rising and falling, as still as a statue. Some of us have it's difficult for many of us to let their guard down and trust anything at all. Now, the secret is to enter the black hole of emptiness inside you, and you let it empty out yourself completely and merge with the emptiness. And it will help you let go of everything and just surrender everything inside you and be free from everything and let go of your attachment to everything. Everything, every thought, feeling you're having. Release your addictions, desires, compulsions, wishes, and beliefs into the empty unknown. Throw everything inside yourself into the emptiness till you are 100% empty. You won't be disappointed at what happens next. Now, the next experience that manifests in this emptying out process is very liberating. When you are total in your letting go, releasing it all into the emptiness, you create a fresh space for something brand new to enter you. When every hard, cold neurosis is out of the way, the pendulum tends to swing back towards feeling nurtured and nourished by life. The soft, warm, loving presence of your own soul steps in. The emptiness suddenly becomes very full, and you feel as if you've become a newborn baby suckling on the great universal mother's breast. It feels good to know that the great sacred God source is here now, waiting patiently for you to empty yourself out. This is one quick way to immediately reach into her. It's good to know that the magic of discovering the God source within happens in the simple presence of your own company. When you are truly alone, try out these approaches. Let yourself allow this awesome, indescribable God force pierce through your heart, soul, and consciousness. The pure God source energy is already penetrating you, all of us. It is always ready for you to open, wanting to move into you, and there is nothing you can do to change this. All of us must always be aware, however, that the mind is always doing whatever it can to make something happen. It will try to pave a straight, firm path towards what it thinks God is. Yet it's this narrow mind habit which causes us to miss God every time. The universal God source is too vast, deep, and enormous for the mind to contain. The moment we empty our mind and let down our resistance to love, we discover how fun it is to bow down to the divine. It's in this moment that the God source flows into you. When you're the most surrendered, still, and in the most humble state of ecstasy. Imagination is more important than knowledge, Albert Einstein. Most of us attach to things in this life. I don't believe that we do it purposely. I believe it is an automatic in a lot of cases. And there is actually a law of detachment. The law of detachment means that in order to acquire anything in the physical universe, you have to relinquish your attachment to it. Choose to let go of it. This doesn't mean you give up your intention to create your desire. You do not give up the intention, and you do not give up the desire. You give up your attachment to the result. Deepak Chopra. The wise Buddha once said, attachment leads to suffering. What he meant by this was that whenever we become attached to a desire, belief, thought, feeling, or anything for that matter, we needlessly suffer. The suffering arises because attachment is an energy born out of fear, lack, and disconnection to our source. That kind of covers most of us on this planet. We tighten our grip on certain desires because deep down we believe we need to manifest them in order to feel safe, happy, secure, or loved. Now, this overly tight grip on life simply means we are not feeling the natural connection in our hearts to the great healing source and spirit within ourselves. As long as the mind continues to circulate in this vicious attachment dilemma, we can never truly relax and fully access this ever-expanding, all-loving spiritual source that radiates at our very core. Whenever happiness is determined by any thought, feeling, or external event, then we become a slave to it. And the great egoic cycle of suffering begins. Expectations and disappointments are great examples of how attachment leads to suffering. If the big desire we had today manifests or doesn't manifest, it then becomes the main leading cause of our happiness and unhappiness. The very instant we become attached to a thought, we end up forgetting about love, joy, freedom, and the endless possible things we can be thankful for. The grip onto any thought narrows and eventually blocks our energy, creativity, and vibration, so we cannot perceive any new ideas or options available. So perhaps you're asking, how can we be passionate about our desires in this life and yet approach them in a non-attached, easygoing way? Well, the discovery is the middle path. If and when we are too attached or too unattached to our desires, they won't manifest. We must choose to hold the baby bird in our hand not too tight, or we'll suffocate it, and not too loose, or it will fly away. The real secret is finding our natural connection to Source that is always coming from trust and is free from worry and fear. Our desires have this natural tendency to manifest faster than the speed of light when we are walking down the middle of this road. Attachment is a habit that we learned from society. We are suffering because we are gripping too tightly or too loosely onto our thoughts. The mind gets hooked into beliefs that say, I don't have the money, knowledge, power, energy, information, or understanding to manifest what I desire. Or the mind cannot hold long enough onto the idea, feeling that I do have the money, knowledge, power, energy, information, or understanding to manifest what I desire. Whatever we believe is what we create. And thus we manifest this amazing, effortless manifesting adventure, or a perpetual daily struggle to survive. It's not about getting what you want, it's about wanting what you've got. Sheryl Crow. The Buddha always said, the secret to enlightenment is finding the middle path. To find the middle path, we must look within ourselves, stepping out of the periphery and towards our total center. The real work we are here to do is not just on the outer world, yet also the inner. All our outer struggling is a pointer directing us back inside. Suffering is a great teacher showing us where not to go and what not to do anymore. Pain is like a hot poker directing us to back off and rest inside until we are finding the middle path. When we listen to our bodies, we can naturally find a way to loosen or tighten our grip on this life. And then this ultimate freedom simply finds us. It's quite magical how it all unfolds. This universe rewards us when we truly trust Him. You want to see if you're too attached to a thought. Just notice what's happening in your body. Whenever the mind becomes overly attached to any idea, a tension in the body forms. When we think that thought, the more tension we have in our body, the less receptive we become to allowing that desired outcome into our life. The mind tends to be a cling master and an ultimate skeptic of life. It hasn't learned how to trust life. And so we need to retrain it. Whenever the mind thinks this universal power is not real, permanent, and trustworthy, we need to remind it that it is. When we can stop clinging to thoughts, things, feelings, people, and memories, we will begin to trust this universe will provide all of our needs. We can stop working so hard. We can retire our illusions, take a rest from our daily worrying and fears. We can use our precious time appreciating and basking in the divine source that is already here now. Challenges are what make life interesting. Overcoming them is what makes life meaningful. Joshua J. Marine. Here's a powerful healing exercise. This is a great exercise and can actually be a lot of fun to do. It will give you instant clarity on how to find your middle path. Here it is. Write down every belief that you think is causing you suffering. Take a closer look at what you are deeply attached to having, being, or doing. Find out what are the things, beliefs, judgments, and opinions that your mind is currently attached to. It may take a few weeks to completely unravel yourself, yet keep looking and continuously searching for what is the root cause of your suffering. Discover exactly what are you desiring that you think will give you complete freedom, love, abundance, or satisfaction. Research yourself deeply and explore the truth of who and what you are. Find out what societal belief habits you've been programmed with. Make a list. Check it twice. Find out exactly where and when you've been naughty or nice. Upon deeper investigation into yourself, you'll discover that the mind only becomes attached to certain thoughts that it feels are lacking from inside. Meaning, deep down inside the being who has 3 master's degrees and 2 PhDs is some attachment to the belief that they are stupid and unintelligent. If a being is a workaholic, always seeking to attain more money, it means deep down they feel a great fear of being poor. That being feels they have to protect themselves from poverty by building up huge resources in their bank accounts. The more money a being needs to accumulate, the deeper the wounding is around feeling worthy, abundant, and secure inside. When we look deep, long, honest enough inside ourselves, we see that this pendulum swing is always the case. After you've got your list of thoughts that cause you suffering, and you still don't know how to transcend them, it's time to take a more spiritual route. Imagine what it feels like to be connected, resting, and in perfect union with the divine, infinite source inside. Behind every negative belief is a positive one. And lurking beneath both of these beliefs is the secret to being free. When we find the middle path to this life, we start appreciating everything again. When we can trust and naturally relax, we will start basking in the magical divine source that is already here now. Just remember, we are always connected to a source of infinite power and energy. Always connected. There is an internal, eternal love source inside all of us. And this is the only place we can find true, everlasting security. Come to know and trust deep down that you have the God-given power to manifest the life of our dreams. It's vital to understand that the mind has been greatly misguided. It has been fed beliefs that simply are smaller truths. The greatest truth of all is the one that will liberate you on every level. It's the one that doesn't need to believe anything. It knows the feeling of real sustainable success cannot come from striving, reaching, and trying to attain a bigger and better outcome. Remember, most people in the Western world are wrapped up in this striving belief system. So watch out for this societal hypnotism. It's a mass manipulative belief dis-ease going around. This desiring dis-ease is very prevalent out there. And believing what other normal people believe is the main reason why your mind continues to fall again and again and again back into the experience of suffering. If one advances confidently in the direction of his dreams and endeavors to live the life which he has imagined, he will meet with a success unexpected in common hours. Henry David Thoreau. Releasing attachment. Most of us, it's real easy because the way we've been programmed. We attach ourselves to things. Right? And if you're ready to liberate your mind from your list of attachments, I invite you to do this little exercise. Do it before you go to bed tonight. Read through it again when you wake up tomorrow morning. Imagine in your right hand is a deflated orange balloon, which is attached to a string. Put the string in your left hand. Start blowing all your attachments, problems, and issues, worries into this huge balloon. You have a magical breath that can breathe the thing or thought you are attached to right out of your body. The more attachments you put in, the bigger the balloon becomes. When you have emptied yourself completely, the balloon automatically closes its valve and you let go of the string. It begins to float straight up into the sky. Watch it move far away from your life. Notice if there are areas of your body where you feel a release from the attachments. In these places, imagine breathing in a warm, golden, healing light. Feel the sense of relief and lightness in your body. Now that you are free from all attachments, worries, and concerns right now. Take several minutes after you have done this exercise to allow this lighter feeling to reach every cell of your body. Relax into your body and into the spiritual being you truly are. Know that you are infinite, eternal, and will never die. Be aware of this freeing, eternal feeling throughout your day. You'll soon begin to experience a tremendous shift in your ability to effortlessly manifest the life you desire. If you're still looking for that one being who will change your life, take a look in the mirror. It's like I've repeatedly shared with many, we are, all of us on this planet, are in a massive spiritual evolution. How did we get there? How did we get here? Through the God source, our collective consciousness. Haven't you felt, over the last maybe year or two, that something tremendously powerful within you is moving? Things are accelerated. And I don't mean the type of acceleration that a child asks a parent through impatience by saying, when is this day going to end? When is nighttime going to come? I mean the comprehension that everything has been accelerated. Everything. And we, collectively, have implemented that, the gods that we are. Now, it's not necessarily that, you should be connected, so to speak. Most don't know who and what they are on this planet. Most wear masks, not just one, but many. But we aren't disconnected. We are the God source. To enjoy a life that we create for ourselves. We are not here to suffer. We did not come here to suffer. Sure, we came here to learn, experience things that we create for ourselves, but we didn't come here to suffer. You could take one lifetime, say you've never experienced suffering, right? So you say to yourself, I'm going to have a lifetime where there is suffering. I want to know what that is. See, there's a childlike curiosity. You want to know what suffering is. You don't know what suffering is. You've never suffered. So you manifest a life where you come in and you experience eventually suffering. Now, then you begin to realize the only reason you're suffering, which is really fascinating, is that there's this illusion called an ego mind. And the ego mind's never satisfied. And it's never at peace because it does not know that it is literally connected to the God source. Doesn't know. So when you reassure it through your heart mind, and you say, and this being discovers that, so I'm going to reassure the ego mind that it should follow me, the God that I am, into eternal peace within, to eternal love and bliss, joy and happiness, tranquility and benevolence. And this is what I say to my ego mind all the time. I say to it, follow me, and I will lead you to peace. And you do it from the heart mind. And you'd be amazed what transpires. Now, if all of us had suffered, we all suffered, right? We've all suffered more than once, and not just this lifetime. So, and if you ask a group of us, hey, there's a dozen bodies ready for you to go into, and you're going to have a life of suffering. And okay, so we all have our memories of our lifetimes, right? What do you believe we would collectively answer? How would we answer that question? Okay, or that statement that we're all going to go into lives and suffer? Would we, after countless lifetimes of suffering? I don't believe we would. We wouldn't be adamant about it or negative. We would just say we don't care to because we've experienced it many times. We know what it is. This is why we experience things. We know that. We experience them until we know what they are, what their meaning is, what we learn from them. And then that's it. It's just like if you didn't know what hot and cold was, you would get burned. You would. We all would. It's like a child. They don't. What do they know anything? No, they don't know anything. So they experiment. Bobby, don't put your hand on the stove. It's hot. Bobby doesn't know what hot is. So Bobby puts his hand on the stove and burns his hand. I told you not to do that. This is what we do. But it's our discovery. Everything in this life, this current life that we're in, no matter where we're at in this life, whether we're 150 or 3 years old, it's how we view the life that we have created for us. It's just how we view it. Not judge it, view it. And ask yourself this. Look in the mirror and ask yourself, and I mean from the heart mind, am I happy? It seems like a simple question, right? But ask yourself that question. Do it more than once in a great while. Then you come in automatically and say, I am grateful for being in this body in this very moment. No matter what's going on around you, no matter what's going on anywhere within you, outside of you. Because we're in tumultuous times as people, beings of this particular species, some of the names, mankind, humanity. And it affords us to choose to go within. We've been out there countless times through thousands and millions of years. But we haven't been within consistently ever. So to choose to be within, to be curious like a child would be curious, and to find out what this ego mind's about that basically guides you all the time, directs you, influences you, makes you feel insecure, worried, stressful, gets you to want to protect it. It's called never enough attitude, never enough belief. It's a never enough world. We live in a never enough world. This is why we have consumed so much that 1% of the life on this planet is all that's left, by not really comprehending what we were doing. But to even be talking about it is a major breakthrough, genuinely. And then we begin to realize that there are no limitations, and anything is possible, and anything that's been done can be undone. It's like tying a shoe, to make it really simple. You tie your shoe, right? You can untie the shoe. Do you know why you tie your shoe in a bow? If you have, laces. Why do you think that is? Why do we tie our shoes in a bow? Because the way the bow is tied, we can pull, most of the time, one end on the tip, where they have the little material that's, kind of seals it at the end. And we pull that, and it comes undone immediately, quickly. That's why we tie the shoes. We tie them the way we tie them, so they're easy to untie. Now, of course, if you tied your shoe with knots, you just kept tying knots, you'd spend a long time, or probably just take a shears and cut the lace. It's not much different with our lives. Anything that's been done can be undone with yourself. It's like a lot of people have gone through life so far miserable, not happy. Why they attract that is within them. Why they manifest is within them. Maybe they have a self-persecution complex, believing that they had a past life that was horrible and they need to punish themselves in this life. Or you have somebody who is massively overweight, okay? And they can't get enough food. They keep eating and eating and eating and eating. Maybe it's because in a past life they starved to death, right? See, we bring a lot of things with us and we don't realize it. We bring a lot of things. We bring a lot of, not a whole bucket, not a whole truckload, but we bring enough from past lives into this life, and we don't even know it. How we respond to things, how we react to things. If you look at babies, certain age, right? You can go on the internet and do this. It's a riot. But you look at babies' responses when their parents ask them something. They're in their carrier or whatever, and how they respond. The facial features and how they respond to certain things. And you would swear to yourself, when you look at their faces and how they respond, it looks like someone from a past life with that type of caricature of a response. They look like they're old. That this is a carryover from when they were in another life and how they would frown or respond to something. It's amazing. And see, because they still are in kind of that life. There's still remnants, especially at that age. And when you look at babies, real young children, they're having fun. They don't know that they've got all this other stuff that's going to be there later. When you were a child, did you worry about paying your bills? No. What was your main motivation? To play. That was your main motivation, to play. You wanted to play, whether it was with yourself or friends. That was the greatest thing, to play. Ask yourself, how often do you just play? Oh, that's for kids and children. I'm a full-grown adult, full-grown woman or full-grown man. I don't have time for that silly stuff. You should take the time. And I'm not talking about going out and ripping yourself up. I'm talking about playing. Going into heart-mindedness, leaving the ego mind alone, and just play. It's like I said, you see a swing, sit on the swing. You don't have to swing it. You can sit on it. You see, those things are important no matter how these bodies, how they age, which is a disease, but to play. To look at things from the perspective, childlike curiosity, and then it's not a big deal. It's life. We create it. We enjoy it. Either we enjoy it or we don't. We still create it. Nobody else creates it. We don't have any enemies. We create those too through the ego mind. We believe that there's a boogeyman's going to get us or something else is going to happen. We create it. Where the demons come from, we create those too. Why? Well, there's a lot of dark, murky thoughts on this planet, and we all know it. And thoughts are just thoughts until we give them power. I'll join you in meditation. I'll return to close us out. Take an easy and slow breath in through your nose, and an easy and slow breath out from your mouth. Remain still, relaxed into your body, focused on your breath, rising and falling. Acceptance will make you more relaxed and at ease. If self-acceptance comes in a trickle or a downpour, then that's right for you. Acceptance is the key to releasing all suffering and issues of avoidance or attachment. Allow yourself to accept everything that occurs today. This is not about being a doormat for the world. This is about following your heart with inspired actions all day long and accepting whatever shows up in your experience. Become an acceptaholic who accepts everything exactly as they are and yourself exactly as you are. Take this with you for the rest of the day and to the evening and night the following morning. And we will return here Friday, June 6, 2025, after 3:15 p.m. Eastern to continue our global guided meditation call. And after 9:15 p.m. Eastern to continue our reverse aging health call and all the rest. Be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself at all times. Be in the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal gratitude at all times. No matter what's going on within you or outside of you. Open your heart and allow the magic to flow in.